Utilitarians refers to those parts of biodiversity or those plants and animals from which humans derive benefits like cereals, medicines, etc. There are many economic benefits from nature, like cereals, pulses, and fruits, firewood, fiber, medicines, construction material, industrial products, etc.
Now I am going to tell about narrowly utilitarian reason. These are obvious reasons. Human beings derive count, countless direct economic benefits from nature, such as cereals, pulse, fruits, firewoods, fibers, construction materials.
Good, very good.
You are all said about how nature is directly useful for us. This comes under narrow utilitarian argument. Now we are going to see about broadly utilitarian argument. This argument describes about the ecosystem services like pollination, pest control, climate moderation, and flood control. Can you say how much oxygen is present in our Earth's atmosphere?
21.
20%. Yes, 21%. In 21% of total oxygen, 20% of the oxygen is produced in Amazon forest through photosynthesis.
No problem. We'll come back again. If now you are having network issues, means no problem. You can connect, log off and come in again. Sometimes it might become all right.
Now my screen is visible to you.
Yes, it is visible. Have you presented something?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it's visible. It is visible.
Ethical risks for conserving biodiversity. We know that we share the planet with millions of plant, animal, microspecies. We did not own the earth only for us, but we share the earth with many species around us. Physiologically or philosophically or philosophically means meaning of life. We need to know that every species has an intrinsic value. For example, if I take ant as an example, we think that ant would not have any economic value to us, but they also have some importance in biodiversity, like growing new plants by seed dispersal. They erect the soil through that oxygen and water reach the roots of the plant. From this, we know that every species on earth has its own value and importance in biodiversity. We have a moral duty to care for the well-being and pass on our biological legacy in good order to future generations. That's our duty to conserve and well-being with the biological legacy. Biological legacy means biological properties. Without harming the biological properties, we use it and give it to our future generation. Already many of the species are extinct, but what we have now, that our duty to conserve and give it to our future generation. I give some of the endangering plants and animals in India. Asiatic lion or Asian lion, Bengal tiger, Kashmiri red stag, Chlorophytum tuberosum from Tamil Nadu, Malayalam from Kerala. These animals are hunted for their colorful skins, and they think that shows their brave.
Wonderful. It was wonderful. Okay, everybody presented very well. Yes, Rati.
I just share my observation, ma'am.
Okay, you share.
One day in my place, I saw an abandoned tennis court that has been nearly entirely dislodged with grass and had grown through cracks on the wall. I just wondered how a tiny blade of grass can undo an entire human-made structure. Given the slightest opening, nature will work its way out, and it will. At every moment, nature is seeking to restore balance and harmony where it's been upset. I think this is the essence of healing. No matter how we violate the given order, nature will restore the way it has intended to be. Even though humanity may differ or disrespect the planet, eventually the earth will grow green again. If we are wise, we will cooperate with this process. It is important that we know what our true nature is, that we align and be bolstered by it. On the deepest level, we are spiritual beings. That is why nothing material can satisfy us completely. We have all manner of material comfort, beauty around us. But unless our spiritual self is fed, we remain humble. Our nature is wholeness. We cannot be broken into parts and treated as a commodity. We are more than we appear to be. Our true nature is kindness and love. We cannot act or identify with reality and feel at peace or have life work. You don't need to be changed yourself to be divine. You are created of spirit. And to be powerful and happy, simply let nature take its course. And also, Mahatma Gandhi said that the world has enough for everyone's need, but not everyone's need. That's all, ma'am.
Oh, that was very beautiful. I feel like clapping, but here we cannot clap, no? Big round of applause for everybody who has presented today. Who all are there? One is Malini, Hema, then who presented? Pachyamma, Mugundan, Aishwarya. Did I leave anybody out? Everybody is there, no? Yes.
Radhima.
Who? Rati. Oh, Rati. Of course, I appreciated her. So it was so beautiful, and like this only the classes should go on interactive. Now coming to the arguments why we have to conserve the biodiversity. First one was narrowly utilitarian view. So you have shared nicely, described nicely, but I'll just conclude that in one sentence. Narrowly utilitarian means immediately what benefit human beings get from nature, like in the form of firewood, in the form of vegetables, fruits, medicine. So immediately what need human beings get, that comes under narrowly utilitarian. Next one is broadly utilitarian. Broadly utilitarian means the services that ecosystem is providing you, which you cannot see it so visibly, like narrow utilitarian argument, like pollination. If the plants are not getting pollinated, if there are no pollinating agents, then you won't be able to eat food itself. So that services which ecosystem is providing, that all comes in broadly utilitarian view. Second one is, there are so many tourists visiting places. Why they are visiting places? For that they are spending money also, to enjoy the beauty of nature. So there is one word there, aesthetic pleasure. Aesthetic pleasure means beauty. Aesthetic sense means the sense for us to enjoy the beauty. So nature is very beautiful. So it gives us a pleasure. That pleasure is called aesthetic pleasure. Now you cannot charge for every aesthetic pleasure they give. So it is our duty that we have to conserve that nature so that our future generation also can enjoy that pleasure. Next thing is oxygen. We are able to breathe oxygen. See, there are no other planets who's having that. It's Earth. So why should we cut all the plants and keep? There won't be oxygen then. So oxygen giving is also a broadly utilitarian argument, or it is also one of the ecosystem services. So these are the two topics. First is narrowly utilitarian argument. Second is broadly utilitarian argument. And the last one is ethical argument. Ethical argument means, see, we are just one among the living beings on earth. We are not superior and all. Even more superior bacteria were there earlier. You know that, no? Archaebacteria, they can live in hot springs also, like methanogens. So they are able to live in boiling water. So what are we? We cannot live like that. So every species is important on earth. They also have to live along with us. So it is our moral duty to conserve them. Is that clear for you, children? Is that clear
Yes,
for
ma'am.
you?
Yes.
Yes.
Ma'am.
Now